to lie in the house and watch DSTV than to run the factory. Because, yes, you mean, the tariffs were high. They don't classify small and medium, and it's a business, commercial. And you know me, madam, do it right. So we have a whole meter for it, for the business. And so on the same compound, it costs us more to run the business that is paying people and creating employment than for me to have a shutdown and lie in my room and watch TV. So money, number one. And then policy to genuinely, honestly help small business, but not, when you say help, you mean support, correct? It's a better sounding word. Support in which way? Because, you know, as entrepreneurs, people say, oh, we need more support and all. There's not enough support for women business. But what sort of support? Money. Money, okay, one. And then the policy, like
so when you say money, we're talking about, are you asking for, you need financing?
Yeah.
Or are you saying that you need literacy skills? Because money is good. They can give you the money. You could get the funding. You know, there's the organization that will help you to give you the money to build your business. But do you have the skills to manage the money when it's given to you?
And so the support at both ends will be good like that. But genuinely, honestly, any small business that is starting, yes, you need to manage it. But small business, you already know the kind of machines that you need. Small business at the initial point is production. So whenever you get any bulk money, the first thinking, at least for me, is machinery. I'm sure when I'm done getting all my machines, I don't know about that.
Have you calculated what the gain after that? Because
that's what
how much money are you going to make?
For me, before I joined GCIC, I would say money. But as I've grown in business, I mean, Kinky Matters will be, 8 years this year? And really, we've not even scratched the surface. 5 years ago, the things I wanted to do, and looking back now, I'm so glad I didn't. Because I think what small businesses need support is not just money. We need training, how to even run a business. You know, I think earlier on we were talking about getting your finances and everything. I was running a business for many years, and if anyone would ask me how much we made in a certain year, I wouldn't be able to say it. Because I'm thinking, if I get money, but what will you use the money for?
Yeah.
Are you sure this is where you should be putting your money in the first place? So when you have the training, the support, because you have the idea, you're selling maybe your small hair products here and there. I scaled up very quickly when I was not ready. I changed my jars when I was not ready because I thought that is what I needed to do. When I look back now, I should have been selling that 1 cedi container jar for many, many years more before. So yes, finances are very important. So when I got into the program, I remember telling them, see, where I am now, I want to learn my business. Yeah. I want to be able to have conversations about my business. The product is great. We have a small processing thing. What we're able to do in that small, listen, when we have a large order, my 73-year-old mother is the one doing stickers and everything. We're able to do, but the knowledge I've gained, I can sit in certain rooms. I can have certain conversations. There's a reason why I'm able to be here. So for women especially, we need, because I feel like all women are traders. We are brought up to have side hustles. From secondary school, you are doing something. Now, how do we package it into a business? Someone is selling tomatoes in Makola. I say Makola women have been running businesses their entire life, but they don't understand that it's a business. How do we structure it for them? Policy, okay, for machines. When I wanted to get my machines, I got to the factory, I went to China. I was so excited until I realized by the time I shipped this machine down there, how much it will cost me to ship it, to clear it, there's no support. So I think the more we understand business, exactly, the easier it is to make certain important decisions. So I went from saying, okay, I want a 500, liter mixer to, maybe I should do 100. It only means that I have to do a lot more in a day, which is fine. That one I can, afford it. So support, in terms of policy and then really business development. I think that's the right.
I think it depends on the level.
Management.
So it's also about, yes, I want the money, I want to grow my business, but are you thinking about making a profit? What is the profit? When this money comes in, you're like, oh, I have money, I've made money. You haven't made money.
Yeah.
Do you have the skills? And if you don't have the skills, are you willing to pay for the skills to have the right support? So it's also about looking at the business as a profit-making business and not just as a business.
I also think it's at the level you are at the business. Me, I need the money because I understand my business. And so it's every stage, give me money, I will take.
And maybe it's because of my as a finance. So I think we very often, and in Ghana, we talked about this before, that we kind of feel that we're this sort of island of, women entrepreneurship bliss. And, Ghana's great in terms of women entrepreneurship and SMEs, and, women are, we have a certain parts of our society who that are matrilineal, and so there's no real impediments. That I think let's not forget that in as much as we've done well from the finance perspective, women still face quite investment impediments, investments as far as women's. And I keep looking at my iPad because I'm just reading up some statistics around, how real the hustle is on the finance side. So it says, this is just some statistics on the investment gap for women. Women startups in Ghana receive approximately 5.4% of the total venture funding in the country. 5.4. So you're assuming the rest went so that's 95% when spent proximity. The average investment in women-led Ghanaian businesses was around 175,000 cedis, compared to 1.2 million for male-led businesses. And there's also some sort of sector-specific disparity. So it's even worse if you're a woman in tech, for example. The proportion of funding that goes to women in tech is really quite low. But to your points about the money is needed. There's a financing gap for women. On the advocacy side and policy, I think you have to advocate for what you want. And, great. The new government is talking about having a women bank. I think it's fantastic. But I think it hasn't come in a vacuum. Women have been advocating for it for a long time, and finally it has come to fruition. And sometimes you feel like all we do is talk about advocacy and policy and nothing happens. And for me, I say I was listening to the State of the Nation address yesterday, and I think it's phenomenal. The president talks so much and so about this women's bank and so passionately about it, but it's because people were doggedly pursuing for many years policy. And it's happened, or hopefully
it will happen. It will happen. In addition to some of those things, back to my initial point, a conducive environment and innovations, just like you're saying, the knowledge about your business is important. That's the basics. But if the environment is also good, it helps. For example, I gave the electricity one. If commercial producers or people who are in business, you're able to categorize them and they get some respite where it gets there. It's a conducive environment. If I've struggled to go to China to buy machines, I should be able to be identified as a small business and be helped to clear it. So it's those small kind of support for businesses. That's what we are asking. The tax regime. If you are in a certain kind of business or if you are categorized as this, can you get some rebates? Those are the kind of policies that we want, so that once it's there, most often than not, people know the ins and outs of their business. It's just that you have all these things, and what do you do?
Really? That's to Ghana's credit in that respect. When we're not there. It's not perfect, but we're also a lot further down the line in some policy than other parts of the continent even.
And that is why, advocacy is extremely important.